Hey there, paper geeks and glitter nerds. It's Anna the Crazy Geek Crafter, and I am ready with part 4 of this series. And this is where I'll finish up my apothecary and my spell books, and it's gonna be great. Like you can see here, I spray painted everything, but it's not perfect. It's a nice base color. It means less work for me here at the table, so I'm just going to go over everything in black really fast because I sped it up a lot. And I'm sorry for all the noise, but my dog really wants my attention right now, and I need to get this video out to you all. So I'm speeding through the painting in black, and then you'll see how I make the magic happen. Everything looks really boring right now, but once the base coat is done, you can start dry brushing, and that's when everything comes together. I promise. Beside the dry brushing I'm gonna do, I also printed out some labels for my apothecary things. I made different labels. I made them myself. You can get a lot online with different illustrations and text and stuff, but I wanted some that were a bit geeky. For instance, I have a reference to Game of Thrones. I have a reference to Grimm TV series. You could say I also have a reference to Harry Potter, but Mandrake is not Harry Potter specific. It is just generally a poisonous object. I also have a reference to, what was the last one? Oh, it's a book series, a Danish book series about a boarding school for witches. It's very nice. I just finished it, and I couldn't help but put a reference in here to it. All the books are named after flowers. Where the first one is Roses and Violets, then it's Forget Me Not, and the last one is called Nightshade. So I put that reference in here too. I don't know if any of my book geek friends will notice it, since I don't know if they've read it, this series. It's pretty new. I think the third book came out last fall, and I only just read them myself, so I can't say I was out fast. I did buy them. I had them on my shelf signed by the author, but I just didn't get around to reading them. But they were really nice. Really liked them. It was not the kind of book where I could guess the ending, which I really like. I like to be surprised. Also, I do like there to be an ending, because I also read books where I get to the end and I think, where did the ending go? You know, there's another Danish author who's mastered that one. I think she's on book 5 or something, and I don't particularly like like the story. I just want to know what happens in the end, because, you know, there's this mystery and it's really annoying. So I keep reading, even though I'm not a big fan of the series. I'm weird like that. But this is my new dry box technique. I've tried it with the pencil. It never really works out for me very well. I'm sorry that I keep being out of frame, but just the amount of things I had on my desk for this project was just, it was annoying. It was hard to find workspace because everything had to be somewhere drying, and couldn't put them anywhere the dog would get near it while the paint was wet, and yeah. So, but using a sponge and then this plastic container to scrape off the worst of the paint really worked out nice. I really think this is something I will take with me to the haunted house and try out. I know you can get foam brushes, so I think I have to get some of those. And then this technique with the sharp edge on the plastic container, it's something I'm going to try and use on that, because it really, really worked. And this container here is one in a series with the skull on it. I decided that those would be the logo of the company that makes these. So this is from Mandrake, and the company I named it Monkey Skull Group, because I really think that skull doesn't look human, it looks monkey. So that's what I named it, and I have 2 containers from this company. This is the other one, and I'll paint them in the same color scheme, and then the labels I've made also match. I think that was a nice touch, but you decide. You can write in the comments what you think of my collection. I did take a group photo. It's at the end, so don't worry, you'll be able to see everything in some nice lighting, because right now the lighting is not bad. I try to do my best with lighting so that you can see what I'm doing, but staying in frame and getting a real sense of an object when I have to paint it also, it's a bit hard. I was not particularly happy about my labels. Those I should have worked on more, but I just didn't have enough time. Especially because I put the sticky on the back of the sheet. I couldn't tear the paper to get a bit more rustic edges, and I had hand cut everything. I didn't have time to find dies and to find my cutting machine, which I had buried under all these containers that were drying or waiting to be painted. Yeah. And I also had a table set up in the living room with all of the decorations for Halloween, so I didn't even have my extra table, which I normally use when I do a big project. But you live and you learn, and my new knowledge from this project is more tables. That's just it, more tables. I wanted to give the skulls shiny eyes. I actually thought first I would do reds, but I didn't have any really red ones, so I stuck with the blue theme. Still wish I had had some red ones. I think that would have looked cool. But the fact that they're shiny actually gives them some something to catch the eye when you're looking at it, if you get what I mean. Now this bottle here, you might ask yourself why I'm painting it white after I painted it black. That's because the top of this bottle was already red, and if there's a color that has a tendency to shine through white, it's red. So it's just easier to paint it all black, and now I'm painting it back to white. Or not back, because the bottle itself was actually black to begin with. But I wanted something different for this one. I may change the top at some point. Maybe see if I can find some twine or something to put on it to make it more organic. Because it's a bit plain white right now. But again, didn't have the time. Also, none of these pieces have been sealed, which you should always do when you work with acrylics. Otherwise, you might have it peel off later on. But I'll have to Mod Podge everything before I pack it away after Halloween. I don't have time to do it before the party, which is at this spoken time tomorrow in like less than 20 hours. So yeah, I'm a bit late with this voiceover. I normally like to do my videos in good time, so that if anything goes wrong with the internet or something, I'm still uploaded, I'm ready. I don't have to stress about it in the morning on Saturday, because I put out my video what is local time, 1 o'clock. And if anything goes wrong, I have to re-render anything, I am, well, I don't have any nice word for that one. But I think you know what I mean. I am really not in a good place. If I get up in the morning and find out that the rendering I set to do overnight has gone wrong, then I am behind. Let's just say that. Behind. Not all the labels wanted to stick to their containers, so this one I put paint on it to try and hold it down. This is the only bottle that I won't get a label then. It's from the old batch. This was the only one that was actually made in plastic, and weight was one of the reasons why I was redoing my apothecary things. Because a lot of those were in glass, and lifting that up into the attic is just hard on my boyfriend, not on me, because I am not allowed to lift anything that heavy. And I also learned something about all my paints. Not all of them were in any shape to use. There was one I couldn't even get anything out of it, because it was completely hard on the inside, so there's that. But this red one is starting to part, so is the brown one I'll use later. It has some liquids on the side, beside the color. And that's not supposed to happen, but I rarely use acrylic paints these days. It's mostly for projects like this, and they're very rare in my craft room. I prefer to work with papers, and I can't wait to start on Christmas cards. Actually, it's been a bit hard to wait with that, I have to say. This year I haven't really been very good at making them during the year. So I have a lot of cards I have to make here after Halloween. I all in all have a lot of things I have to do after Halloween. Yeah, I guess I haven't told my YouTube family, so to say, about this, but we're getting a puppy. Yeah. My beautiful Morgan is getting a sister, and we'll get to pick her up late in November, and she is so cute. It's another Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So we just been to see her this last weekend, and she was gorgeous and so cute and so very sleepy, because she was like 3.5 weeks. So still very young, but we can't wait. So that is going to take a lot of my time, preparing for her arrival with the puppy, securing everything, and all the things we have to buy. And then there's all the Christmas preparations. Since we're getting a dog this year, we are not going away for Christmas. We're staying home, which means more preparations. Morgan just sneezes. I don't know what I accidentally did. Now on Facebook, on my private Facebook, I have already told all my friends the name of the puppy. But I figured it'd be fun. What do you think we should name it to go with Morgan? Now I have to say, in this house we do love our more nerdy names. Morgan is named after Derek Morgan of the TV series Criminal Minds. I was alone when I picked the name, so it's all me. And his middle name is Eric. And that stands for 3 different Erics, actually. There's, of course, Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid. There is Eric Northman from True Blood. And there is Blade, whose name is also Eric, at least in the movies. So, what do you think we should call a little baby girl? Just write it in the comments. I'll comment on it for next week's video. Okay? And now you truly can see the magic. I know all the containers were a bit hard to see what was happening, but here you can really see the difference it makes when you dry brush over black. And especially because this is gold. I'm sorry, my dog is still craving my attention, and all of the devices in my house are beeping in the background. This is really going to be an interesting upload. So, like I said, I won't be doing anything special on the back here. This book will either be lying down or standing up. I'm not quite sure. It depends on where I'll use it for decoration. That's also why I left the back blank, so that I can actually lay the book down or stand it up beside another book. the decorations in front makes it hard to put it in the bookcase, of course, but since this is not a real book like that, it won't be going in the bookcase. But for decoration purposes, I may need to stand it up against another book. And then I mixed this gorgeous blue color. Look at that. Oh, I really love it. That's a good color. You know I love blue, but this blue with silver pearl-like finish, it's just... Oh, I really hit the nail on that one. There are not too many decorations on this book, so there won't that... Oh, I have been looking for that hat. My hat and the fishbone for the apothecary things. They kept going missing, and yeah, they showed up in all these different places. It was annoying, but I can't help but just laugh at myself now, because now it's over. They're hopefully still in the bottles. Haven't gone missing again. I still need to finish the white bottle, and here's its label. Like I said, I may change a few things on this one later on, but for now, this is how much I'm going to do about it. Just trying to get the cap completely white. I did use a bit of brown on the bottom, so it has a bit of a gradient in color. And I need to put the hat on this box. That was why I called this one Hex. You know, because I need to relate to the hat that I cut out earlier. Need to use all the pieces I've made, of course. So this was going to be the brand. The brand was going to be called Hex. And I'm trying to glue it onto the bottle, and it really doesn't want to. It's annoying. But luckily, there's always a solve for things. And I don't know why I decided to color this bottle blue, but I love this blue color. I really wanted to use it. So I colored the hat this bluish color on top of the greenish color that was already on there. And yeah, I don't know if this bottle is any good. Actually, it's one of my least favorites. I may have to redraw the text on the label because you can't really read it. And now the dog is eating. He has this device that he throws around the living room, and it gives him food. And that's what you can hear in the background, if you can hear it. I'm sometimes surprised what you can hear and what you can't. This microphone picks up some things and not others. It's really weird. But I do love my microphone. I have to say that. I really do love it. If you are wondering about making videos, I would say a good microphone is a must. Because it can save you so much editing time that you don't have to edit your sound too much. I spend far less time editing sound now after I got a good microphone. Here I'm trying to draw in the hex with the blue color, but I think I have to try and turn it back to black because it's really not legible. In real life, it's far more blue. Yeah, it actually still looks black on the video, but in real life, it really disappears into the blue background. So I'm going to have to see what I can do about that one later on. It won't be before the party. I don't have the time. I still have to finish my costume. I have a few other things I need to finish. And after sitting on my couch looking at the finished product, the bottle where I accidentally put white on and then put white all over it because now there was white on it, it kept catching my eye. So I figured I had to do this on everything. Use a minimum amount of white to just highlight everything, and it works. The green on this bottle is still there, but the text and the little creases and the hot glue details, it's so much more eye-catching when you put the white on. The same with this bottle here. On that one it's mostly the chain that catches your eye, and this one really also stands out far more with the white on top of the red. The red is still the dominant color and then the black underneath it, but the white just draws your eye in. it's incredible. And it's also because I use so very little white. It's very, very little amount I use. Otherwise, I would just color over the red. And just look at that. The difference is insane. And this is one of the reasons why I think maybe I need to get some sponge pencils for my haunted house project, because this worked so great that I could get that much paint off by using the plastic container. And it really brought the details out on everything. This one I may have given a bit too much white, because the silver I used on it to begin with kind of disappears. But yeah, just magnificent. To me, it seems like magic. It could not be me who did it. It must be magic. Of course, I can't highlight anything on this one. I'm just touching up the white. And I'm using the rest that is on the sponge here. And I couldn't help myself. I had to put some white on this golden book too. First I thought I made a mistake. But as I sat on my couch looking at it, because I'm going to stand it up while it dries. I got to the point where I'm sorry about that. The dog is really annoying right now. So I have to finish this. But when I was looking at it from afar, it just popped the elements so much more when they were in white, even though I wanted this to be a gold book. So I ended up having to do it on the blue one as well. I did a little bit, but not enough, because the text was not visible enough. So I have to go in here, and this was hours later. I have to make a new piece of paper, a new dot of white here, so that I could get the name to stand out more. I regret I didn't put pearls to dot the eyes underneath the paper, but I just forgot when I was in the middle of the process, and I figured maybe I could put on something now, but I don't know. But here's the finished project. I hope you enjoyed it, and next week I promise it will be a card. Until then, I hope you're having a good day, evening or night. I better go pet the dog now.